A little bit. I know that there's been a evolving of our industry, of our industries within the state of Michigan to help support a more diverse portfolio.
Right.
What kind of things are happening? You know, what industry is making a big makeover to help promote that wind turbine push?
Well, there's a lot of different companies that are working at manufacturing them. There's a company called Energetics that's on the west side of the state that's really expanding. There's a company called Astreas that grew out of not far from here, from the Lansing area in Eaton County. And they're really looking at how to manufacture the components to support the supply chain and development of the wind turbines. And then you have the passage of a policy in 2008 that we were very active on to demand that 10% of all of our electricity sources comes from renewables. And that was really the first push that the state had made as adopting a policy here. And so what we see now is more use of that technology in our state to supply that power from wind or solar. There's been some good solar incentives, so you see more people putting panels on their home now or using the technology locally. We were formed in 1991. We were actually started up in the Traverse City area. There was a group of solar installers who, there was a lot of tax incentives that came out federally in the 70s and early 80s that really made it easier for people to put in solar energy systems. And so as those taxes kind of started to go away, we had people who still wanted to educate, promote the use of renewable energy technologies, and they founded the Great Lakes Renewable Energy Association out of those ideas.
So, how has it developed over the past few years? Because your 20-year anniversary, I'm assuming that it's, you know, you're now in Lansing area.
Right.
I'm sure that some evolution has happened, so tell us about that.
Well, basically, it remained very much a grassroots organization for the first 10 years of its life. They started doing renewable energy fairs, which I'll talk a little bit about later. And then what ended up happening, though, is happens a lot of times with any kind of environmental cause or something that you're very passionate about, and volunteering a lot for any organization. Sometimes people get a little burned out or they need a break. So due to those reasons, there was a group of people in the Lansing area that were still very active in Traverse City, and they said, well, we'll take it down here and see what we can do, bring it to the center of the state, try to have a little bit more of a broader impact statewide. So in the last 10 years of its life, it's kind of developed more into a formal organization that you see where you know, you have hired staff. We do solar training. So if you want to become someone who installs panels, you can come and get accredited and certified through our program.
Great.
We teach about wind energy zoning laws and siting of wind turbines. We review financing and incentives and how you can really actually use this technology more at your home or your business or in your everyday life.
Or has there been any change in the perspective of support of the public?
Having a cleaner portfolio standard and looking at the effects of, you know, our cars and really how that plays a major role in pollution and carbon emissions, and, you know, is there something else we can do in that area? And so now we're looking at, you know, battery charged vehicles, and ideally, you know, being able to electrically charge them to solar power or something different. Really taking over us here in Michigan that like to drive compared to other states where they have more, you know, they just have more public transportation. In Michigan, we don't have that because we've had the auto industry here for so long. So people are starting to look at, you know, can I commute more, carpool more, look at getting hybrid vehicles, you know, and that kind of thing has really, I think, broadened people's realization of how we need to use our energy and how it impacts our quality of life. And you know, of course, energy efficiency plays a huge role too. So if we can minimize our use overall and supply as much of that from renewables and diversify into cleaner technologies, I really see that as kind of a broader solution.